Is officially spring, it's Easter, the flowers have come out, and things are growing and changing here at the A.C.E.S Ranch. And it reminds me that without those plants having died last fall, we might not have plants that are quite this healthy. So my question to you today, for what purpose, for whom will you die? For what purposeful future would you die? And so that you could create a better life or a better future for others. And by die, I don't necessarily mean like in the ground, in a coffin, all that stuff. What I mean is maybe you would give up some things that you are seriously tied to. Maybe you would give up some of the things that you are, hell-bent on holding that thought in your mind. Sometimes it's the paradigm that we hold on to because that's how we've been trained. And would you give that up? Would you give it up so that you could have a better future, so that those around you could have a better future, so that your community could grow more and move forward in a better way? I wonder sometimes if we consider that not every death. I mean, look, I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking at the ground, and there are, millions of oak tree or little seeds. I don't know if they're from the oak trees, because oak trees have acorns, right? But it's the oak tree flowers that are on the ground and that will turn into oak acorns on the tree later. They're everywhere. They're just like, crunchy and brown, and they just fell off the trees last week. They died. They had to be given up. We had to give those up so that it could put its energy into the acorn. Otherwise, the tree won't have enough energy to create acorns that survive and thrive. And so, if it kept all those little fluffy flower things, you might not know what I'm talking about. Here's what they are. It's these little guys. So that is what it gave up. It had to give up that part of it so that it can then grow acorns later. And so we'll see those acorns in a couple of months. They'll be on the tree, and they'll start to fall off the tree as well, because that tree will have to give up its acorns so that it can make it through the winter, so that it'll be there next year, so it will rest and be able to support life next year. So there's a cycle to this. Sometimes we have to give up what we thought we were going to be. And this is something we talk about a lot. We have students who went to veterinary school, we have students who went to chiropractic school to get that training that costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they have to give it up a little bit so that they can put their energy into becoming animal chiropractors, where they feel like they are making a bigger impact, where their life now has a bigger impact, not just on the animals that they touch, not just on the people whose lives they change because of the animals that they touch, but on whole communities. You can't make a bigger impact on a community than to change the food that they eat. And when we change the food that they eat, when we change how important and I want to say, blessed how that food is when we help that food become healthier, because as it's growing, we also help those people, every one of them. We help them be more wealthy. We help them be more, they help less brain fog. We help them have all of those things because they, are now eating better. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor and you have not added animal chiropractic to your practice yet, maybe it's time for you to think about, what would you give up? How would you die and then come back as the person who helps that community thrive? Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Share this with your friends if you like this message. And let me know in the comments how you're spending your Easter weekend, or what other religious weekend you're spending. Because guess what? We all basically share the same religious weekends. I know some people don't know that. And the reason we do that is because of our environment. Because our whole long time ago ancestors created these times of the year to help them thrive and survive. I've said this before. There's a reason that we celebrate Easter in the spring and not in the winter. And it's for our mental health. And it helps us because this is that time of year when we see regrowth, we see new growth, we see opportunity, and we see ability. And for those of you who are thinking, maybe this is the time for opportunity, it really is. This is a great time of year to add animal chiropractic to your practice for that opportunity. Find us today at animalchiropracticeducation.com.